There is no other music genre where flashing your wealth is more common and accepted than hip-hop. Rappers love to wear big chains, drive big cars, and live in big houses, whether they can actually afford it or not. With that being said, there is no other genre of music where faking your wealth is more common than hip-hop. There are, however, many superstars in the rap game that possess massive wealth due to millions of records sold and streamed and other business ventures. While some of today's biggest rap stars like Lil Baby, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and many more are very successful and in their own regard very rich, they are considered BGs compared to the OGs on our list and cannot even come close to the net worths that these rappers and now businessmen have amassed over the years. So let's dive into Echelon's top 10 list of the wealthiest rappers of 2023. We're starting off with a tie at number 10, and it's two legends that everyone who loves hip-hop will be familiar with. Birdman and Snoop Dogg are currently both record label owners. Birdman has been the head of Cash Money Records since 1991, and the label has been home to rap megastars over the years, such as Lil Wayne and Drake. Snoop Dogg needs no introduction, he's one of the most famous rappers of all time, and he got his start with Dr Dre on Death Row Records in 1992. If we fast forward to 2023, Snoop is now the current CEO and owner of the legendary record label where he released his now classic debut album Doggy Style in November of 1993. Both of these rap moguls have done very well for themselves over the years, with millions of records sold, and sit on a net worth of $150 million each. Ice Cube is a West Coast legend, period. He got his start in the 80s with the group NWA. NWA is by many considered to be the founders of the rap subgenre, gangster rap, with songs like Fuck the Police and Dope Man. However, Cube would leave NWA and start a very successful solo career, his first song being Vaseline, which was actually a diss record towards his former group NWA. Since then, he's sold over 40 million albums and has also been seen in numerous Hollywood movies as both an actor and also director. All the success for Mr. Cube has left him with an impressive $160 million net worth. Lil Wayne, or Weezy F Baby, or Tunechi, whichever nickname you choose to go with for Wayne as he has a ton of them, is by many considered to be one of the greatest rappers of all time. With 14 studio albums and 29 mixtapes, he's sold over 100 million records worldwide. That's pretty impressive as he knows to never write down his lyrics, everything is stored in his head. It's safe to say that Lil Wayne is not like other rappers. He has a unique charisma as a person and a unique style of rapping. Some even say that he's one of the inspirations to the new age style of mumble rap because of his delivery on the mic. However, here at Echelon, we strongly disagree as Wayne is just in a different league than these pathetic mumble rappers, and this has caused him to have a net worth of $170 million. The king of the South and New Orleans hip-hop royalty, he's the founder of No Limit Records with multiple platinum-selling artists under its reign. During the 90s, No Limit was hugely successful and selling over 50 million records as a label. Master P, or Percy Miller, which is his government name, has sold millions of albums on his own. But like many of the people on this list, their wealth does not come from just one source. P is an entrepreneur to say the least with his own cable TV station, movie production company, and more. The Ice Cream Man has a no-limit mindset when it comes to his craft, which is why he has a massive $200 million net worth to his name. Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, aka Slim Shady, is without a doubt the biggest hip-hop artist of all time, and by many considered the GOAT of rap for his insane lyricism and delivery skills on the mic. Eminem is the top-selling rapper of all time by a long shot, with over 220 million records sold to date. That is a staggering 50 million more than number 2 on that list. Discovered by Dr. Dre in 1997, even though he dropped his debut album Infinite in 1996, it was 1999's The Slim Shady LP that would catapult M to mega stardom overnight. With the shock value of his lyrics combined with the flow of his rap, blew the hip-hop community away. While it might not have been the old-school hip-hop heads type of rap, Eminem managed to reach a much wider audience than any rapper had ever done, and the rest is history. While M early on in his career had a very successful stint in acting as himself in the biopic 8 Mile, he has mainly kept to making music over the years, and you don't really see him doing much else publicly. Either way, Slim Shady has amassed a huge fortune of $230 million over the years. The second highest selling hip-hop artist of all time is Drake, with 170 million albums sold and streamed. He needs no introduction. Drake, aka the Champagne Papi, has been absolutely destroying the charts since he first stepped on the scene. There's never a bad Drake album in the eyes of his fans, and the hits just keep coming. He's been able to shorten a gap that's between hip-hop and pop without losing credibility within the genre. It's also easier for rappers to do this nowadays, as the genre has become so big in the past few years. Back in the 90s, I don't think we would have seen a Drake, but he came at the right time. Known for his melodic style of delivery where he will seamlessly switch up from dropping bars to singing an R&B style hook, Drake is where Drake is at because his style is unique. It's not rocket science. The man knows what he's doing and deserves his respect. He's forever solidified as a hip-hop heavyweight, and his current $260 million net worth will only increase with every year to come. P. Diddy, formerly known as Puff Daddy and legally named Sean Combs, is a hip-hop mogul if ever there was one. Founder of Bad Boy Records and the guy who discovered the late and great Notorious B.I.G., together they would catapult Bad Boy Records to the hip-hop heavens in the mid-90s, and the label would continue to grow even after Big's death in 1997. With several artists on the label such as Lil Kim, French Montana, and Faith Evans, it would continue to be highly successful. Diddy started his own fashion label called Sean John in 1998 and ended up selling a majority stake of the company years later for $70 million to only buy them back 5 years later when the company was going through bankruptcy for $7.5 million. His business acumen is no secret, which is why his net worth is a staggering $740 million. Dr. Dre, super producer first and rapper second. He's been in the game since the early 80s and got his breakthrough in NWA alongside Ice Cube and Eazy-E. He went solo on Death Row Records and in 1992 released a hip-hop classic in The Chronic, where Snoop Dogg was introduced to the mainstream. That album was so ahead of its time in terms of sound, and it went multiple platinum. Dre ended up leaving Death Row and eventually discovered Eminem. In 1999, he released another classic album, 2001. Dre has produced for many legends in the game, such as 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, T.I., Eminem, and Tupac. He was also the co-founder of the headphones Beats. In 2014, he sold his 25% share in Beats and got a cool $750 million out of the deal. The dog sits comfortably nowadays with a net worth of $800 million. Self-proclaimed King of New York, Jay-Z truly is a rap legend. With 13 studio albums under his belt and multiple business ventures outside of rap, Jay-Z has an estimated fortune of $1 billion. He's one of 2 people on this list that has reached billionaire status, we think. Stay tuned and we'll explain. Anyhow, like most of the artists on our list, Jay-Z is more than just a businessman, he's a businessman. Using the money he's made from rapping, he's been able to multiply his fortune by investing in other avenues such as Roc Nation and Tidal. You only reach heights like Jay if you have the entrepreneurial spirit, as Jay Hova does. You don't really see much of Jay anymore as he spends most of his time with his wife Beyonce and their daughters Blue Ivy and Rumi. So, we get to the top spot. We think Kanye West, or Ye as he calls himself now, is probably the biggest character on this list. We also think he still has the biggest bank account on this list, but that's only speculation. Ye is hip-hop's super producer and rapper. He's dropped 10 studio albums and has produced hundreds of songs for other artists. When Ye drops, it's guaranteed to be massive success. Kanye has a mentality that seems to be completely absent of failure even being a possibility. Everything he touches in music and business seems to turn to gold, for a while, until he opened his mouth about certain topics. Everyone knows what Kanye's been in trouble for already: anti-Semitism and mental health issues. He lost a $1.5 billion deal with Adidas and other contracts with Gap and Balenciaga during the controversies, and it's said that his net worth dropped below the billion mark because of it. He had been previously worth around $5 billion, and now it's said he's only worth $500 million. It's hard to fathom that Ye lost that much, so we still think he's in the billionaires club even after all his troubles. His music catalogue is still being played daily, and just the royalties from those bring in a good chunk. One can only speculate where he's actually at. Let us know what you think in the comments. As we round off this list and video, it's fascinating to note that many hip-hop megastars like 50 Cent, Lil Baby, DaBaby, and Kendrick Lamar don't even come close to even peeking into this list, even though they are in fact loaded themselves. It just goes to show you what the difference is between being rich and wealthy. Thanks for spending time with us on this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.